Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the Star Wars sequel trilogy, and specifically why I think it doesn't just fail on its own, but also why it actively damages Star Wars as a whole. Now, I'm not saying there aren't moments I enjoy, or that people are wrong for liking them. If you love the movies, good for you. But for me, they represent some of the weakest storytelling choices in Star Wars history. And over the next few moments, I'll explain exactly why. Now, before I dive in, quick note, I will not be talking about the knife plot in episode 9. I've already done a whole breakdown on why that makes zero sense, so if you're curious about my thoughts on that, you can check the comments, the description, or the end of the video where I've linked it. Trust me, that one deserved its own video. One of the biggest problems with the sequel trilogy is how they completely undermined the original trilogy. The original trilogy builds up to this incredible climax. Vader redeems himself, Palpatine is destroyed, and the Empire falls. It's one of the most satisfying endings in cinematic history. But the sequels, they undo all of that almost instantly. 30 years later, the First Order is basically just the Empire 2.0, already in full power, with stormtroopers, star destroyers, and the same vibe all over again. Now, let me be clear. I do not mind the idea of evil coming back. The idea that no Sith would ever come back is absurd. The galaxy is huge, and power-hungry people will always rise up eventually. Saying the Sith or an Empire could never return is unrealistic. But the problem is how fast it all comes back. 30 years in galactic terms is nothing. It makes the Rebels' victory feel hollow, like they fought and died for almost no lasting impact. Vader's sacrifice, which was supposed to end the Sith and bring peace, just feels cheapened. And that brings me to the Chosen One prophecy. In the prequels, we're told Anakin is the Chosen One who will bring balance to the Force. And in Return of the Jedi, that's exactly what happens. He kills Palpatine, destroys the Sith, and redeems himself. His story comes amazingly full circle. But then, in Episode 9, Palpatine just comes back. Out of nowhere. Suddenly, he's been alive this whole time, pulling strings in the background. And if that's the case, then Anakin didn't fulfill the prophecy at all. He didn't destroy the Sith. He didn't bring balance. He just temporarily inconvenienced Palpatine. It completely erases the meaning of his arc. And honestly, it's not just bad for Anakin, it's bad for Luke, Leia, everyone. It makes the original trilogy just feel like a part 1 to a story that the sequels didn't even bother to finish properly. And while we're on the subject of undermining the original trilogy, let's talk about the New Republic. After all the sacrifice, all the fighting, all the work it took to take down the Empire, the New Republic is supposed to be the payoff. The good guys win. They set up a government, and the galaxy finally has peace. But in the sequels, the New Republic is basically a joke. It's reduced to one main planet, Hosnian Prime, and then it's gone. One planet destroyed, and suddenly the Republic is completely wiped out. That makes no sense in a galaxy this massive. The rebellion spent decades fighting to restore freedom, and all of it collapses in a matter of seconds. It's lazy writing, and it makes the entire post-Return of the Jedi era feel empty. Also, did I mention how unclear it was that the Republic was gone? I had no idea the first time I watched it, and I only found out a couple years later when I looked up what happened to the Republic in the sequels. It was just terrible writing and storytelling. They didn't even tell us properly. And not only does the New Republic collapse instantly, but the First Order rises to full strength almost overnight. Unlike the prequels, which sets up how the Separatists came to power, the sequels just completely ignores that. Somehow, they had the resources, armies, and fleets to rival the Empire, and no one noticed? No resistance, no pushback, no balancing power. That's ridiculous. Empires don't appear out of nowhere at full strength. It took Palpatine years of manipulation, political maneuvering, and total control of the Republic to form his empire. But the sequels skip all of that build-up and just hand us an empire, copy-paste, bigger and scarier than before. It's absurd, and it completely cheapens the struggles of the original trilogy. Now here is when it gets even messier. One of the best things that Disney Star Wars has made is Andor. It's grounded, it's mature, and it shows the gritty side of our galaxy. But because of how good Andor is, it makes the sequels look way worse. In Andor, we see just how much effort it takes to build one Death Star. The Empire has to enslave thousands of people, funnel endless resources, and cover it up with insane secrecy. That's what makes it so powerful. It's believable. But then, in the sequels, we suddenly get thousands of planet-killing Star Destroyers. Not one, not 10, not 100, thousands. All fully armed, all hidden away somehow, all waiting to be unleashed. That's not just unrealistic, it's absurd. It breaks the internal logic of Star Wars. How could the galaxy hide something like that? How could they build it without anyone noticing? And again, Disney did this to themselves, because Andor shows the reality, and then the sequels throw it in the trash with cartoon logic. So when you put it all together, the sequels don't just have bad writing choices. They actively damage the rest of Star Wars. They undermine Vader's redemption. They erase the meaning of the Chosen One's prophecy. They make the original trilogy feel pointless. They make the New Republic look pathetic. They make the First Order's rise totally unbelievable. And they even contradict Disney's own shows like Andor. At the end of the day, the sequels could have been an opportunity to take Star Wars into a bold new territory. Instead, they played it safe, rehashing old ideas, and in the process weakened the very foundation of the saga. The galaxy isn't ruined, but the sequels sure tried their best.